Hi, everyone, and welcome to the Music Made Me podcast. Today is a preview. We're going to be launching on February 1st, and today we wanted to give you a little preview because episodes 1, 2, and 3 will all be released on Monday, and we have some great guests lined up. Episode 1, it's Adam Gontier. You know him best as the former lead singer of 3 Days Grace and the current lead singer of Saint Asonia. Now, among other things, he talked about the band's second album, Flawed Design, that's Saint Asonia, and the fact that he wrote the first part of the album and then he went into treatment. He came back and he wrote the second part of the album. In this clip, he talks about the writing process and how it changed from pre-treatment to post-treatment. You were coming out of another stint in rehab going into that album, right?
That's right. Yeah. And that was definitely sort of unexpected, and why Flawed Design sort of took longer than we had hoped. Yeah, ended up in treatment in Nashville around the same time that my son was born, and definitely needed that to happen to be able to make the record that we did, for sure. Yeah.
And did you check yourself in because you knew that you were having a son?
Well, no, I mean, not really. I ended up people around me, management and some friends and that sort of thing, suggested that I go get some help. And, I was in a pretty weird state of mind. I'd been using on and off for quite a few months. And I just planned on dealing with it myself and taking care of it. And by the time my son was born, and that didn't happen, So I played a couple solo acoustic shows in Northern Ontario here, and I don't remember the shows at all. But yeah, there's a small intervention there, and then they flew me down to Nashville to get treatment, and then I flew up to Minnesota and stayed in a center there as well for a while. Yeah. So it was a long process, and it definitely needed to happen because I couldn't do it on my own, and I was trying to for quite a few months, and it just didn't happen. So
Right. I guess that's a huge message for anyone out there who's struggling right now, right? Is you think you can do it on your own, but that's a pretty tall order, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Is one of those things I told myself every day that I would eventually slow down and stop, by a certain time or whatever. And it just couldn't do it. I wanted to, I definitely wanted to, but just couldn't. Yeah.
Can you see a difference in the writing on the record, or because you're working with more of a team, was there not really a change in how you're writing before and after?
No, there's definitely a change for sure. I mean, for me, maybe it's something that I notice more so than others, maybe. But I can definitely feel when I'm more aware and just more present in the entire process,
Right.
and really focused on lyrics and really focused on parts rather than just sort of not being 100% into it, really, just sort of just not really caring all that much. So I can tell a difference for sure. Yeah. A lot of times if I'm under the influence, or when I was under the influence and working with a producer, I would just sort of take the idea that the producer has thrown at me and just agree and just say, okay, that sounds great. Moving on, and yeah, when we were making Flawed Design, it was, there's a huge difference because I, really care about what I'm doing, and, I don't want to just agree to do something that sounds good to one person and this sort of thing. So yeah, there's a lot going into it, but absolutely, I can notice a difference when I'm working on an album and I'm sober.
It was great sitting down with Adam. It was about 11 years in the making, actually, because back in my TV days, 3 Days Grace came through town and I had a chance to sit down with a couple of the members, but unfortunately, Adam wasn't one of them. And so it was great finally having the chance after all these years to sit down with him and just learn more about his musical journey. Now be sure to like, share, follow us on whatever streaming platform you listen to your favorite podcasts on, because Monday, February 1st, come on back and you can listen to that entire episode. And also you can listen to episode 2, which features Mr. Dan Davidson. Now, you might know him best as Canadian country musician Dan Davidson, but I actually know him best as rocker Dan Davidson because, again, back in my TV days, I had a chance to interview him when he was with his rock band, Tupelo Honey, out of Edmonton. Now, in this clip, he talks about making that transition from rock star to country and some advice he got from some famous friends.
I was missing the performing, and I was missing doing something out there that was me. And country was blowing up, and I was seeing a lot of my friends that were in rock succeeding in country, especially namely Dallas Smith, who is our biggest country star. And I went out to see him open for Florida Georgia Line at Rexall Place here in Edmonton, or Rogers, or one of the two. And it was amazing. Like, it's just a rock show. It's both of those shows were just a rock show, and it was like everything that I knew. And I started realizing that there's like, for all the years that we were writing, I think I'd suppressed the twang a little bit. And like, when you're from Alberta, it's just in you somewhere.
Well, exactly, yeah.
So I decided I'd just unlock that door. And after I hung out with Dallas that night, he was like, man, you should give this a shot. It's a great scene, and it's not any different from anything that we've been doing for years. And you got a great name for the country. Dan Davidson sounds like a pair of jeans or something.
Yeah.
But so, yeah, I was like, you know what? That's just one of those, another moment of a vote of confidence that pushed me over the edge. The first one with Josh and this one with Dallas. And so I called up Jeff, my producer, and I said, hey, do you want to make some country stuff, and we can just see what we can do? And I put out a song, and luckily enough, through all my years of playing, I've been really good friends with a lot of the promoters that have booked me, and they slapped me on a show. It was the same kind of thing, actually. It was like, hey, you have to play an hour, figure it out. So started writing like crazy and getting a ragtag band together. And when my second song came out, Found, it exploded. Like, it was the top selling Canadian country song. It was the top selling independent song in Canada. And now it's on its way to platinum right now. And it's, that song basically started my career. And I've spent, so many years just keeping up to the momentum of that. Like, I've had a lot of successful singles, but that one is just the engine that keeps running. So it's been really great. And luckily I've been able to pull Tyler and Greg from Tupelo Honey to play with me in the band for these last 5 years together. And it's, man, it honestly just feels like somebody breathed new life into Tupelo Honey or something. It's really cool.
I was going to say, it's like Tupelo Honey 2.0 basically, right?
Yeah, it is, and lightning doesn't really strike twice in the music industry. So I've been very, very fortunate to be able to have a second shot.
I hope you enjoyed this little preview. Remember to like, share, follow, do whatever you have to do on whatever streaming service you get your favorite podcasts. We'll be everywhere on Monday, February 1st with our first 3 episodes. Adam Gontier, Dan Davidson, and more. We hope to see you there. Thanks for listening, and we'll see you next time.